Churros are originally from Spain and Portugal, where they are usually served with hot chocolate or dusted with cinnamon and powdered sugar. If you ever visit Portugal during the popular saints festivals, you'll see food trucks selling churros everywhere. But today, you don't need to travel to get that experience. I'm going to show you 3 easy, delicious and versatile churro recipes for different occasions, all using one simple dough. Making churros, it's the same principle as making a shoe dough. So you're going to need 80 grams of unsalted butter, 250 grams of water, 5 grams of fine sea salt, 20 grams of sugar, 8 grams of vanilla extract, 120 grams all-purpose flour, and 2 whole eggs. Start by melting the butter in medium heat without letting it brown. Then, with the heat turned on, add in the water, salt, sugar, and vanilla extract. Once the mixture reaches a boil, lower the heat, stir in the flour. Let the flour cook evenly, like if you were doing a bechamel sauce. Cooking the flour is really important so that your churros don't have lumps. Keep stirring until it forms a smooth and silky dough. Take it off the heat and add in the eggs. Add them off the heat so you don't end up with scrambled eggs. At first, it will look like it's split, but that's normal because the eggs are not incorporated. Just keep stirring until it comes back together and becomes smooth again. Once your dough is smooth, transfer it to a piping bag fitted with a star tip. The star tip is the classic shape of a churro. It gives those rigid edges that get extra crispy. For this video, I'm using 2 different piping tips. They're all gonna be listed in the description below. Now for frying, fill a pan with enough oil to deep fry, a bit more than halfway up the pan. I recommend you to use a pan with tall sides for safety. Heat your oil 190 degrees Celsius or 375 Fahrenheit. While the oil is heating up, we are going to prep the coating of the churro. I'm using 100 grams of light brown sugar and 2 grams of ground cinnamon. You can totally use white sugar or flavored sugars, whatever you like. I like brown sugar because it gives the extra crunch. And of course, you can add more cinnamon if you want. Just taste the coating and do it as you like. Once the oil is hot, pipe your churros straight into the oil and cut the ends with a scissors or a knife. If piping directly feels tricky, here's a tip. Pipe the dough onto a piece of parchment paper first, then drop it into the oil. Once the churro floats, remove the paper. Fry until golden brown, about 2 minutes. This process depends on how many churros you fry at once. Just don't overcrowd the pan because it will lower the oil temperature and make the churros soggy. Once they are done, drain them, then roll them in your cinnamon sugar while they are still hot. For the classic, we are keeping it simple with a chocolate ganache. In Spain, they will serve churros with hot chocolate, which is way liquid. I prefer to enjoy mine with a delicious dark chocolate ganache. For the ganache, measure 100 grams of heavy cream plus 100 grams of dark chocolate. Melt them together in a saucepan and enjoy the most simple but either delicious way of eating churros. For the mini churros, I'm using the 4B tip. These are perfect for topping with spreads and candies, like a churro dessert box. Just keep in mind that the mini churros will take less time to cook than a normal churro. I'm going with a homemade Kinder Bueno spread and some of my favorite gummies. Here's how you make the spread. You need 100 grams of toasted hazelnuts without the skin, 100 grams of seed oil, 30 grams of powdered sugar, 1 gram of fine sea salt, and 150 grams of white chocolate. With the help of a food processor or a blender, blend the hazelnuts and oil until mostly smooth. Add the sugar and salt and blend again. Melt the white chocolate and stir it in to the mixture. Let it cool to room temperature and it's ready to use. It's that simple. The spread should be smooth enough to coat the churros evenly. Drizzle the mixture all over the churros and add the additional toppings. You can use chocolates, marshmallows, cookies, whatever you like. If you add the spread while the churros are too hot, they will soak instantly the spread. So I didn't coat the mini churros with sugar because you already have sugar in the gummies and it would have been too much. These churros are perfect for a date night movie or to impress your loved one. For the final version, we are making stuffed churros, one of the most popular styles in Portuguese food stalls. I used a piping tip with a hole in the middle, which helps create space for the filling. At traditional stands, the dough is usually egg-free, so it's more rigid, but for this video, I'm sticking with the same base dough just to show you what's possible. I've done a strawberry filling that in order to make it you're going to need 500 grams of fresh strawberries cut into quarters. And yes, it's totally fine if you use frozen strawberries. 60 grams of sugar and 1 zest of lemon. Put everything in a saucepan and cook it down until it turns into a jammy consistency. Pipe the jam into the center of the churro once they've cooled slightly. So that's it. 3 different ways to make churros at home. From a fun candy top mini box to the classic with rich ganache and the stuffed version that's just as good as the ones at Portugal festivals. Let me know which one do you try first or which one you'd make for someone special.